Hey everyone, Kamakani here, and welcome to our very first review. I'm joined by my ConAir colleagues today, Mike Brown, Ashley Lawrence, and Keith Foster. You probably know the Captain Marvel trailer dropped this week, and it was amazing, but there's so much to digest, we definitely want to break it down for you, and that's what we're going to do today. All of us at ConAir are seasoned convention and nerd culture veterans, or like my good friend J. Jonah Jameson said, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. You're going to see a lot of these in the next few months. We want to keep doing them, so before we get into it, make sure you hit subscribe so you can stay in touch. All right, let's do it.
So, Skrulls are the bad guys. And you're a Kree, a race of noble warriors.
Heroes. Noble warrior heroes.
That was the second trailer for Captain Marvel. I would love to hear your feedback. Keith and Ashley, I'm going to let you guys process for a minute. And then Mike, do you want to go ahead and give your 2 cents? You've seen this like 4 or 5 times now.
Yeah, I think this is my 4th time watching it. I've got a few thoughts, and I've been watching a lot of like YouTube commentaries and fan theories and stuff out there. I don't know how much of that you want me to share, but there's something about this trailer that seems very reminiscent of the first phase of Marvel Studios, like Phase 1, like the original Iron Man, the original Captain America, the original Thor. They seem just like very straightforward movies. I think they were trying to make, it seems like they're trying to go after this character the same way that they went after those previous characters, was in like a very forthright, not to say it's not a genre movie, but like those first films weren't like super genre films, where like Thor Ragnarok was definitely like an 80s comedy, or was like an 80s retro comedy. And Ant-Man obviously was like a fun kind of heist film. Winter Soldier was like a political thriller, that kind of thing. This seems very, very straightforward. It doesn't seem to be on the outside much more than that. And I think from that regard, it seems fine. I like it. I'm sure it's going to be fine. I'm sure it's going to be good.
I guess I'll kind of say my quick thoughts. That's the second time I've seen it. I totally agree with you, Mike. I think that it does feel just like the first teaser. I'm like, this seems like really Phase 1 Marvel. It like I don't see it being a genre film. Anything above like, oh, it's a cool superhero film. And my biggest thing that worries me is that I just don't think I can't tell if it's Brie Larsen's portrayal or if it's just all of the chosen edits that they've chosen to feature and all the chosen sound bites. Like I remember in the teaser I felt like, wow, she seems really cardboard. I thought she was like an Academy Award winning actress. And
okay, so there's an online thing going on about that right now, that very, very specific thing. And there's a theory floating around that the reason that she is acting so stiff and so cardboard is because
she's a robot.
Say what?
She's a robot.
Well, no, I think it's because she is. So it shows very much in the trailer that she was kind of saved from a plane crash by the Kree, and the Kree put their own blood into her, and so she was saved or whatever. So I think there's going to be a moment in the movie where she kind of wakes up and realizes, whoa, I'm actually Carol Danvers. I'm not this Captain Marvel person that you think I am.
What? Her name's Carol?
Carol!
Her name actually is going to be Shazam.
Okay.
What?
That sounds like a much more interesting movie, to be honest with you, than what this trailer was. So, like, I'm super stoked about this idea. Like, if you're a Marvel fan, I think you feel like there's a lot riding on this movie. Like, from the inside, not from the outside, not like casual Marvel fans, not like the general public. But, like, we understand that this is the first female-led movie, right? Of any of them. Just, so there's a lot riding on it. Yeah, the MCU. So I think that there's a ton of pressure on it, and unfortunately, like, what I'm afraid of is that they have written this Captain Marvel to be like a lot of other a lot of the other MCU female characters. Like they need to be tough, they need to be superheroes, they need to be leads. So for some reason, people think that means they have no personality. They can't be funny. They can't be like quippy. Where you have, I think there was
Wait,
like,
Natalie, did you just say Captain Marvel needs to smile more?
so that's the thing. I think
Are you
that
a Meninist?
no, I'm not. I'm not. I think that Captain Marvel needs to have more of a personality than is being portrayed. I think that I'm not the first person to come up with this thought, but a lot of people comment like it's kind of weird that all of Marvel, well, not just Marvel, but this happens in a lot of female-led movies that you always see like, oh, here's the strong hero lead, but she, for some reason, doesn't get to be the funny one, doesn't get to be the sassy one, doesn't get to have the normal character flaws other than they're just like this tough, straight-faced. Like, look at Gamora versus Peter Quill. Like, look at Black Widow in all of the movies. She has one character. She has like 5 facial expressions. It's really like, and it sucks that, the male leads in the MCU get to do more with their role. They get to, they get to be funny. They get to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Vulnerable. There's one moment in this trailer that I felt like where that disconnect was really shined for me. And it reminded me, you guys remember in Wonder Woman, like, to me, one of the best moments of Wonder Woman was when she's like, oh my God, a baby. And like, she freaks out and it makes sense in the character because she's never seen a baby before, but it also is a little bit funny from the outside. It's like, oh, look at girls fawning over a baby. Like, it was a double meaning there that was humorous, and I think it wasn't like done in a jabbing way. It wasn't insensitive, and I felt like it fit really well. And to me, it like showed Gal Gadot's range, that she could be like this really, like, she could be one character, but then she can also fawn over a baby and have like a girl moment or something like that, or have at least a moment of vulnerability. And in this trailer, there's a really similar moment, and they fucking gave it to Nick Fury, fawning over a cat. And like, what does she do? She's like, Fury, come on, Fury, we gotta go, come on.
Well, there's also that one line, like, towards the end of the trailer where she's talking to, I can't remember specifically who she's talking to, but somebody says, we have started the war, we're part of a war, or whatever. And then she has this line. It sounds so much, her delivery is very Valley Girl, which is, I'm going to end it.
Yeah.
It's not I'm going to end your war. I'm gonna end it. It was so like, ugh.
All right, Keith, Ashley, what are your hot takes?
Well, we should take turns because Keith bulldozes anytime.
Yeah, I was gonna let you go first because I have a lot to say about a lot of things right now. So, Ashley,
no.
First of all, I've already mentioned it. I want to know more about this cat. I thought the cat was the most interesting part of the entire trailer. And I want to know if the cat is going to be in the entire movie. That's my first thing. Okay, I have to think about the beginning. I mean, a lot of it's stuff we've already seen in the first trailer of her flashbacks cut between her memories and what's real and what's not real. Mm-hmm. I mean, there was a lot of Kree blood in this trailer, which they really wanted to prove that she bleeds green. Yep. So she's definitely not American.
I'm not sure that's her blood.
Okay, well, I'm talking. So
sorry.
They bled on her. They bled in her. That's how you become Kree.
I do like that she punches an old lady. I'm all about that kind of scenery and shot. But it's an early trailer, and there's a lot of things that I haven't been excited for in other Marvel movies, and it's just very clever the way they cut it. And I think Mike's definitely right in the sense of like her delivery might be the fact that she's this confused Kree person. In reality, like at some point she's going to have her hero arc and break through and become more human than she is Kree. Also, need way more Jude Law.
Yeah, I feel like underutilized Jude Law for sure. Like, I expected way more of him in this trailer because isn't like I don't know. All right. Anyway, Keith.
So, first of all, I want to say we're not getting a lot from this trailer, but in the past, Marvel's been pretty good about that. I think they're actually pretty good at cutting their trailers for the most part to have a lot of surprises when you actually go to the movie. There have only been a couple that I'm like, oh, I wish I hadn't watched the trailer for that. I can't even think of which one's out. Like, actually, Ant-Man and the Wasp, I think, was one of them. So in general, I try not to judge too much based off the trailer. Like Carol Danvers' personality, I honestly think we just are not going to have any idea until we see the movie. I do agree with what you guys are saying, and I certainly hope that's not the case. I hope they're, because in general, I don't like that with female characters when they're like, we're going to write a tough female character, which means she has to be a cold bitch. And that really bugs me. So I hope that's not the route they go. But I also agree with what Mike's saying. I think we're seeing the sort of the beginning of the new Marvel cycle, and I think it's gonna kind of be the same as Phase 1, just with different characters, and then once those characters are established, we'll sort of see their arcs, and then I think that's kind of what Marvel's plan is just sort of go through all their characters, and I'm sort of not happy about that. I think that now's the time when Marvel should be like experimenting and doing new things. Like, Infinity War was a pretty ballsy move, and the fact that we know nothing about Avengers 4, I think, is really cool. But past Avengers 4, I'm kind of getting a little sick of Marvel. And this is partially in maybe a little bit of jadedness in the wake of the cancellation of Daredevil. But I just really feel like it seems like right now, through the influence of Disney, Marvel is very much playing it safe. And that's what this trailer reads as to me is, we're going to give you Thor meets Captain America. But, I do like that we actually get to see her in the helmet with the mohawk.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the mohawk. That's my other thing. When will she get her mohawk, and will it be like full shaved half head?
I think that's the thing, is that like we have these iconic images, and that's great. It's great that they're, in quotations, taking care of the character to acknowledge what she looks like, and all these moments and poses and all that stuff and colors. But at the end of the day, if it's not a good script, like kind of going back to the Aquaman trailer, I know how much turmoil and anguish the color of that girl's hair causes you, Ashley.
Much
super bright red, but at the end
Still
of the day,
hurts.
like, who cares? Like, okay, it's a bad color, it doesn't look good on the character.
She cares.
That doesn't make or break a good
It does for
or
her.
a bad film. Okay, for you, isolated for Ashley Lawrence alone. Like,
I'm not the
if
only
it's
one.
a movie-
Also, a second thing is, this a bad wig? It's not just the color. Like, it legitimately is laid so improperly. It's the worst makeup a movie could
But
do
you
on
want to know what I'm saying, though, is that, like, it can be a horrible wig. Like, you can shave off Donald Trump's hairpiece and then put it on top of Aquaman, Jason Momoa himself, and it's still not going to. That would actually probably.
And it'd actually be more comic accurate.
It would. It totally would be. But that's not going to make the movie better or worse.
That's not true.
Well,
That's not true. There's so many things
Sure.
people bitched about for years about them not having their costumes or not getting their costumes,
You
or it's
can bitch about stuff all you want, but that doesn't make a bad script good.
yeah, I mean, to that point, in season 3 of Daredevil, he didn't have his costume through the whole fucking season.
Exactly.
And you'll never get it back.
But I know, but I think it's the best season, despite his lack of costume.
I loved the first half of we're totally
No
getting-
spoilers. I haven't seen it because I can't bring myself
No,
to watch
first
it.
half of season two, Daredevil
Okay.
season 2, loved it.
I love the
Um,
Punisher parts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Punisher was great. Even Elektra, I enjoyed the Elektra stuff. But story-wise, season 3 was amazing.
Yeah.
Neither here nor there.
So back to Captain Marvel. I agree that I feel like it might be going in a phase one direction, and if that's the case, then I'm super bummed. Like, I think that Marvel is at a place 10 years in where they can get experimental. They have to understand, or they're going to find out really, really fast that the audience is going to respond to what they perceive as the same old thing. Solo. So if they're like, if you're just spoon feeding me this crap, I'm not gonna buy it. You know, like I feel like I could catch it on VHS if it's just gonna be like phase one all over again. So I
I'm
think
afraid it's going to take Marvel a long time to learn that lesson because they haven't had to yet. They haven't had a flop.
A failure.
They haven't had a failure. And
No.
if they're not failing, then they're going to continue to, they're going to continue to give us phase one movies in anticipation for that Doctor Strange sequel or that Black Panther sequel. I mean, I like Black Panther all right. I didn't think it was like the best picture hype that everybody seems to want it to be. And I feel like we've been getting that sort of since, like, any sort of Avengers adjacent to character. I feel like we've already seen Marvel do this. And so I don't have any reason to think Captain Marvel is going to be any different.
Okay, so final thoughts. We'll go around 30 seconds. Go. Mike, go ahead.
I'm looking forward to the movie. This movie feels like an obligatory lead into Avengers 4.
Okay. All right. Keith and Ashley?
Ashley, you want
Final
to go first?
thoughts?
I'm still upset about that wig. I mean, you can't keep breaking it up, Mike.
Amber Heard's wig in a totally separate movie destroyed this one for you.
All I say, like, it's too early to judge, so I'm not ready to judge, and I just want to know about that cat, and I'm going to rewatch and pause on the cat. For a clue. It's a clue.
I think there's it does seem like a weird thing to focus on because it wasn't really a joke. So I agree that there might be something more going on there. My final thoughts are Marvel always, I think they always save their best stuff for the movie. I think they're really good at cutting trailers in a way that usually excites people and usually saves the best stuff for the best whoa moments for the theater. But I see the beginning of the repetition process for Marvel, and after Avengers 4, I'm starting to get a little more skeptical of them, and I might skip a couple. I'm getting a little Marvel fatigued. I'm still mad about Daredevil.
Here's the
Okay.
thing about Daredevil, like, I am 100% sure, 100%, I'm 90% sure that the reason that all the stuff is being canceled by Netflix is that Disney's not renewing their deal with them so that they can use them bring them into the MCU.
And
Daredevil
I just hope that involves bringing Daredevil back in its Netflix form. I don't know if that's going to happen, but hold on. My final thoughts about Captain Marvel. My final thoughts about Captain Marvel. I think that yes, I hope that it's not more phase one. If it is, if for some reason this trailer is very indicative of what the actual movie is, and if word of mouth doesn't save it, I feel like this might be one where Marvel, quote unquote, takes a hit. And, for Marvel, that doesn't mean very much. It's still going to make lots of money, but it's going to be like Ant-Man money as opposed to like, Avengers money. It's going to be a varying level of success. And maybe they'll read into that. Maybe they won't. If it kind of takes the whole phase one, formula and just kind of gives us more of that, I hope that they anticipate that feedback and they hear about it, and they kind of work that into the future. I also am trying not to get too discouraged because I do understand that it took Marvel I feel like a few movies, like thinking about Captain America, we didn't really get a solid Captain America that everybody loved and saw as unique until The Winter Soldier. And we didn't really get, yeah. Although the other two were great for different reasons, I feel like it really came into its own in Winter Soldier. Same thing with Thor. Like, really, we didn't get a Thor that we all love and agree, like, this is a good way to do Thor. Arguably, I know there's still people who are against it until Ragnarok. So, I mean, it takes some time for those characters to hit their stride. I'd hope that meant, like, development as a studio, that they'd hit it faster with Captain Marvel, but maybe not. I'm gonna keep a cautiously optimistic eye, but my bar is pretty low right now.
It's funny you brought up Thor Ragnarok, because fun fact, Thor Ragnarok was the last Marvel MCU movie that I totally loved. Since then, like, Black Panther I liked, Infinity War I like, but I think it has some, like, the fact what they pulled off was great, but I had some problems with it as well. Ant-Man and the Wasp I thought was the weakest MCU movie since Iron Man 2. And I don't know. I want to see them be more experimental and take more risks, and I just don't see
you
that
think
happen.
Thor: The Dark World is a stronger film than Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
disagree.
Yeah, come on, Keith.
All right, hold on. Okay.
I mean, I
I
respect
think
your opinion.
structurally speaking, it's a much tighter story and script.
Okay, 30 seconds, Ryan. Please tell us. 30 seconds, I'm counting. Give us your opinions, because I know you've been waiting. Give us your
Now you
opinions.
just put me on the spot. All right. 1, too many Inception air horns. Those fucking things need to go bye-bye from all trailers. I'm tired of hearing them. Bring back the movie voice guy. 2, Captain Marvel is just a cheap version of Wonder Woman. All right? All right? And 3, Marvel cannot make crap. It's like Star Wars. You take a turd, you stamp Marvel or Star Wars on it, it will always be good. Fucking stay loyal, stay on target. Peace.
Did you like Solo?
I did
Hey,
like
I
Solo.
liked Solo
I
more
did-
than
I
Rogue
did-
One.
I did enjoy Solo. I
Okay.
really enjoyed Solo.
We're going to call this segment, we're going to call this part of the thing, Peanut Gallery drops the mic and just walks away. Gives you 3 r/unpopular opinions and then just walks away.
Yep.
He is the reason why Marvel's not going to learn any lessons. Ryan, you are the reason. Because you march in with your smiley face, you get exactly what you want. They can't disappoint you, and they'll never try harder.
All I want
They'll
to
never
do,
try to earn your
I
love.
just want to be entertained.
He just wants no
I'm
more
simple.
Inception horns. Like,
Just no more Inception horns.
just no more
Get rid
Inception
of it.
horns.
I agree with no more
Oh,
Inception
subway
horns.
one. Because there's a subway in the beginning of this.
Yes.
And I think, Mr. Movie Voice, we should either bring Mr. Movie Voice back or collectively agree to stop parodying it.
I don't know. I think I'm still gonna ride the parody movie voice for another year. All right, that's it for the first group review. If you agreed or disagreed, make sure you leave your notes in the comments below. Also, give us a heads up if you think there's anything we should cover in the future. Make sure you subscribe, and thank you again for watching. See you next time.